Hi, my name is J.R. Ward, and I'm thrilled to be a part of this day celebrating independent booksellers and bookstores and the romance genre. I started out reading Harlequin Presents back when I was 16, which is about a million years ago. And it was authors like Penny Jordan and Sarah Craven who got me interested in the genre. And then later, I started reading Silhouette Desires and special editions. Elizabeth Lowell was a favorite of mine. And I bought these from an independent bookstore in upstate New York. We had a place near Lake George where we summered, and so there was one in Rutland, Vermont, and then there was another one in Glens Falls. And one of the things that I remember about being a young Harlequin Presents enthusiast is that they had the little numbers up in the corners, and I became obsessed with filling in a full collection of Harlequin Presents. Harlequin, the Silhouette Special Editions and the Silhouette Desires were fine, but for some reason those white covers with that circle with the image and the author name in gold, like I was all about it. And one of the things I loved about going to these two independent booksellers is they had used books like section, and then they had the new ones. So I could come in and I could buy the 6 new releases. And then I could get these wonderful old ones that you could fill in your numbers. Later, when I became an author, I worked a lot with an independent bookseller in Radcliffe, Kentucky. I had moved down here from Boston, and we did our virtual signings through him. And the store was this amazing, it was like a fantasy land of not just the new releases that came out, but like these really interesting collectible toys and thriller sections and horror sections and science fiction and then of course a big romance section. And the thing that I think is important about the nexus between romance and independent booksellers is the hand selling that goes on. These folks who have these bookstores know their clientele personally. They know about their families and their jobs and their houses and their car troubles and their individual tastes. And I'm not saying that algorithms aren't good. They can be very successful, but there's something beautiful about someone who knows you as a person and knows your independent tastes and what is special to you. And I think for the romance genre, there are so many different slices of this marketplace that we're all in. And independent booksellers who know their clientele can get really excited about an author or a book, and they'll know exactly whose hands to put those books in. So when I was J.R. Ward, so I didn't succeed in the marketplace as Jessica Bird. So my first 4 books were standalones that were critically acclaimed, but they didn't sell very well. When I became J.R. Ward and I had to reinvent myself, I wrote that crazy book, Dark Lover. And those were back in the days when there were like Yahoo groups and message boards. And the independent booksellers got excited about reading my books, and they delivered them into the hands of readers who were on message boards, who then buzzed up the book to other people. And it was this amazing grassroots enthusiasm. And so I feel as if my entire career is based and supported, not just back in the beginning 850 million years ago, but still currently right now, by independent booksellers who have such an ownership of myself as an author. And I mean, I'll tell you one, I have this very dear friend of mine. She's since retired. She had an independent bookstore in New Orleans, and she said, "Oh, J.R. Ward," she said, "I love J.R. Ward. She kept my lights on for years." And she read my books and she hand sold them to people who loved them in New Orleans. And that that incredible passionate advocacy for books that are a little odd, like Dark Lover was back at the time. Now I think it's really would be arguably mainstream. At the time I thought it was never going to sell because it was too out there. But I really, I'm an independent businesswoman. I mean, I'm a writer, but I run a business that is my writing. And my business was supported, nurtured, and advocated by independent booksellers, and I'm so grateful to them. So, and in closing, I'll say that it's this wonderful bookend between me being 16 years old and walking around those two bookstores, and I can remember how the floors creaked and what the carpets looked like and what the bookshelves looked like, and I can remember walking around those stores and just loving being around those books and those people, because they were like my tribe of people. They were readers, because I never thought I'd be an author. And then to have that birthplace of my enthusiasm for romance and my joy in reading, then nurturing this crazy career that I've had, that I've just been so incredibly grateful for. It's just this incredible bookend, and this bookend for J.R. Ward continues. So again, I'm just thrilled to be a part of this, and I really I implore people, shop local and buy independent, when it comes to books, if you can. Because I think these are such wonderful institutions for all of us who love romance and who want to be not just readers, insular readers, but part of a community. And so much is online, which is great. I'm not knocking online communities at all. They're very important as well. But how wonderful is it to have the human-to-human contact? And that happens in independent bookstores. So again, I'm thrilled to be a part of this, and it's been a huge, independent bookstores made me, and they continue to make me. So thanks so much. Bye.